Okay, today is September 5th, 2017, and right now at 10:20 a.m. we have a temperature of 77 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 58%. Dew point is 63 degrees and the barometer is steady at 30.05 inches. We have clear skies today. Yesterday we had a lot of chemtrails sprayed in the skies as the remnants of Lydia was blockaded by high pressure. We can see that blockade right through here. That prevented this area right here, which is Lydia trying to rebuild. And so these weather controllers prevented any rain by installing this high pressure zone right here, which maintained a blockade. And as we can see, this area wants to rebuild. It's starting to spin counterclockwise. Now notice what's happening right here. We have an electronic wall that's been built in right in here. That's just another way to describe a high pressure zone that's been installed by a transmitter. We have a low pressure system right here moving out of the Aleutian Islands, moving south. We've got jet stream flow right here, which is also the frontal system for this low pressure system. And we see that the blockade right here will maintain separation between Lydia, the remnants of Lydia, which is rebuilding right there, spinning counterclockwise, and this frontal system here, which is the jet stream. Also notice the high pressure that's been installed in the eastern Pacific. We can see the bow right there in the jet stream as the jet stream flow has to move up and around that installed high right there. Now this will eventually, when these are put into place for days on end, this will heat the upper 3 feet of water in the ocean, and that changes the evaporation rate in the ocean. So we have to be mindful of that. When these areas of high pressure are installed to block hurricanes and to re-steer the jet stream and do different things, that's what will happen. This is probably about 100,000 square miles of ocean, and this water will eventually be warmed when there's no cloud cover moving in. All right, let's look next at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see the remnants of Lydia trying to rebuild right here. This is what brought the rain and wild weather to Southern California. Now, most areas got just a very brief area, or rather a session of rain, just a very, very brief rain, 5 to 10 minutes worth. Other areas got more than that. Downtown LA, there was about a 20-minute downburst. Now we can see that zone of high pressure right here that's been installed to separate this giant low pressure and the remnants of Lydia, which is now rebuilding. Also, there's a right angle right here on this area, which is trying to develop into a low pressure system. Okay, let's look again at the this here is tropical. This is Hurricane Irma right here with 180 mile per hour winds moving west at about 14 miles per hour. We can see a blast pattern on the western side. Look at this in the visible light map. We can stop the map and take a look. We can see some areas here, right here, and right here. These two areas are being targeted with microwave. Watch what happens as we advance through the loop. We can see more dimple marks, and these expand out. We can see these craters expand as this area is targeted. But this is insufficient power. Once again, the power is insufficient to break that system down. So the weather controllers are allowing this system to intensify. As I say, last night the storm had 145 mile per hour winds. Today the storm is up at 180 mile per hour winds. Let's take a look at the hurricane center map. We can see the cone, the forecast right over Cuba and possibly into Florida or maybe into the Gulf of Mexico. If we go back to the hurricane center map here, we can see Irma is generating 180 mile per hour winds. Those are sustained winds, maximum sustained winds. Category 5 central pressure of 931 millibar, moving west at 14. And then over here, pardon me, we have another disturbance with a 60% chance of hurricane formation right here, right in the path of Irma. So we're seeing a lot more effort and activity over on this system on the map. If we go back to the, let's go to the Gulf of Mexico map, we can see this developing hurricane right here. There's a tremendous blast pattern all the way around as the weather controllers hit that system with microwave. Here in the infrared map, we see that same blast pattern. We see the color diminishment. Going back to the water vapor map, we can really see the diminishment. So there's an effort to wipe this system out before Irma moves in. Either way, both of these storms could easily be destroyed. The game plan has changed with these terrorists who are controlling our weather. We know that it was 12 years before Harvey made landfall. There had not been a major hurricane hitting the United States in 12 years, I believe it is. And because of the fact that the weather controllers are getting exposure, the evidence is mounting that there's nothing natural about our weather. And it's obvious that there is manipulation occurring. Mother Nature does not create these blast patterns and these pressure waves. The puppets on TV reporting the weather, they never discuss any of this detail. They never discuss the jets spraying the chemtrails ahead of the approaching weather fronts. None of that is ever discussed. So all of this evidence, which is on the internet, people can see for themselves what is going on and make their own decision. And the evidence is pretty strong that not only do we have weather manipulation, but when you look at the Wall Street derivatives game that's going on, betting on the weather and all that, that is all very, very bad, and it does not look good. People are profiting from this weather manipulation. There are people along the Gulf Coast that pay insurance premiums for hurricane insurance. At this point, that's just really an extortion racket, because these weather controllers can move a storm in at any time. And so, to get back to the original point, is that the game plan has changed. It's a confidence game. So I think that they're going to allow Irma to move in and cause some major damage. These people that are doing this, it's the same people that brought us September 11th, 2001. Same group of people under the same leadership. September 11th, 2001 was allowed to happen. That was an orchestrated event. Terrorism. This is no different. Harvey was allowed to move in and wipe out Houston. There's no reason that had to happen. Look what's happening here. Why wasn't this done on Harvey? We're seeing this blast pattern. Tremendous blast pattern. All right. Let's look at the tropical Atlantic water vapor loop. We can see that storm. This is Irma, giant storm, moving due west. And of course, this is that disturbance over here, which right now is receiving a lot more attention from the microwave transmitters than this. 180 mile per hour winds. This is a real killer right here. A very well-defined eye wall. It is being targeted, but they're allowing this to intensify. Now, if they took the transmitters off of this system, it would probably intensify to over 200 mile per hour winds. Now, as we look at the floaters map, this is the rainbow map. We can see the blast pattern up here. And here on the visible light map, of course, we can see that detail. But this is insufficient power. You're using insufficient microwave power on this system to break it down. This is all just for show. These people understand that this information is being reported. We've been doing this for 2 years, over 2 years. Here's where they're targeting the storm. You can see over here that these thunderstorms on the outskirts are being targeted as well. All right, so that's the report. The Modus Today map here shows the West Coast. Yesterday we had a lot of chemtrail spraying. The remnants of Lydia were trying to deliver rain, excuse me, to Southern California. You can see the natural clouds here. These are all natural clouds right in this area. And then over the tops of these natural clouds, we have this gray haze. This is the chemtrail mix that is sprayed by the jets. That is a coordinated effort to spray chemical desiccants over the tops of these natural clouds, which are the brilliant white. All this gray stuff here is all chemtrails sprayed by the jets. And that will prevent the lift in the atmosphere. And that will prevent the precipitation process. You have to have two things for precipitation. You have to have lift in the atmosphere, and you have to have moisture in the atmosphere. And the chemtrails cap the atmosphere and prevent the lift. And that's what we're seeing here. We have a fairly widespread area that's been sprayed over. And we can see the gray, the light gray color. It's a very different color than the natural clouds up here, which are a natural white. These natural water vapor laden clouds are brilliant white. You can see these chemtrails are all over the place. Here we see some natural clouds here, this brilliant white. Okay, so that's the report for today. We'll keep an eye on Irma. This is a very dangerous situation. And we'll just leave it right here. We show the blast pattern on that developing hurricane right here. Okay, that's it.